So hello, welcome back to Go Again Gaming. My name is Az, and today we're going to be speaking about METRIX, the City of Wonder, speculation mode. And yeah, before we go into it, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification if you want to be notified of any future videos and streams and all that good stuff. There's quite a lot of cool things coming up on this channel. We've got more Ultimate Pit Night episodes. You've got the stream with me and Pascal co-commentating and casting over the Metropole Rur event in June, and that's a PTI event on the Sunday. But yeah, lots of cool things. We've now got a new website, goagaingaming.com, and there's a couple of cool products on there which you can help support the channel directly. And speaking of which, thank you very much to all my patrons who make this channel what it is today. So thank you very much to every single one of you. You are fantastic, and I'm going to be shipping your Patreon packages very, very soon. However, welcome back. So we're going to be speaking about METRIX, the City of Wonder today, and I wanted to point out a few things that I think could be cool in the METRIX set. I don't know if we're going to be getting that this year. There's hints of Mysteria and speak of Mysteria, but when we go to METRIX, I think it's going to be a place where a lot of people want to go. Mechanologist is really the only CC mechanologist that we have at the moment is Dash, and a lot of people are clambering for more options and more sort of aesthetics in that sort of steampunky vibe. And as you can see here, the City of Wonder itself, obviously there is now a lore section as well on the website, so you can just click into Lore World of Wraith and go and check out all of this for yourself if you want to read it. But I wanted to sort of go through a couple of speculations. But yeah, METRIX is one of those places which is very steampunk heavy, sort of technology and innovation, all this sort of thing. And yeah, it's a place where a lot of us want to visit. Blade Runner vibes and all that sort of thing. METRIX and the pits as well, as they're interconnected, which is why originally at the start of the year when we knew Outsiders was coming, a lot of us speculated that METRIX could be next. METRIX could be the next place where we go, because they are one in the same, right? The pits and METRIX, but we'll see. We will see. Yeah, as I said, obviously they've got a lore section now, so you can go and check out any sort of hero or area or story that Fab has released, which is fantastic. But going into this specifically, there's a part of this that I wanted to sort of highlight, and that is the branches of study that appear on here. Now, there's been this sort of age-long discussion about Dash's border on Dash's card. Because everything else has its own border based on its region, based on its talent, right? With with Viserai's border, for instance, he's not a shadow hero, but he's got the same border as Chain and Leviah because they're demonstratory based heroes. Dash, however, just has a generic border for METRIX, but then all of the METRIX cards and the Mechanologist cards also have the same border, whereas Viserai cards, for instance, can have the Runeblade border, and you can't, funnily enough, you can't access any Shadow cards that have the same sort of border, unless he has his sort of Arcanite specializations, which have the border. But anyway, what I'm thinking of here is that with regards to this set, you could still have the same border, you could still have the same sort of Mechanologist border, but you can have different branches of mechanologist study, essentially. But one of these is mechanology anyway, so that sort of throws a spanner in the works straight away. But here we go, we've got biomancy, alchemy, and mechanology. So all of those things could be like a sub talent or sub sort of class of mechanologist. So it could be, you could be a mechanologist, but you could be studying in alchemy, or you could be studying in biomancy. Or you could be just a citizen of METRIX, but be a mechanologist, be a biomancer, be an alchemist. So I think in the METRIX set, it could be quite cool to sort of have these different mechanologists, but have different ways that you can take them, which I think could be really, really cool. It would expand that whole sort of discussion we had as well about archetypes and options in Flesh and Blood, because if you were to sit across the table from a Dash, or whatever mechanologist it might be, you're gonna think, right, is this biomancy Dash, is this alchemy Dash, or is this the sort of standard boost mechanologist, sort of nitro mechanoid maybe even, which I think could be quite cool. I mean, it expands upon all of that sort of aspect of the of the options and archetypes and stuff, right? But yeah, with regards to the actual draft and limited and sealed and stuff, having these sort of areas that they've already put in the lore here could be a great way to expand the mechanologist class, and it could mean that you could have an entire set dedicated to mechanologist, but it could also have different archetypes and builds within that set as well. So you don't actually have to introduce any other heroes. Really, you could just have Dash and then one other mechanologist or two other mechanologist heroes. You could really go in all in with this, but have them be have different branches of study, like we can see here. You can have a mechanologist that specialises in biomancy, so maybe that's sort of augmenting cards and maybe making tokens, maybe making creatures and weird stuff, biomancy. You could have alchemy, which is all about items, getting items into play and then sacking items to do things like aristocrats if you played Magic Gathering, having all of these different items in play. Or even biomancy could deal with that as well, putting things into play, sacking them off to make a bigger thing. And, you know, alchemy could be the item strategy, just assembling loads of items, and maybe your hero can then throw those potions at stuff to then, you know, to do damage and all that sort of thing. So it could be board state development and utility with regards to what you can use the potions when they're in play, or chuck them at people to explode them or whatever, or combine them to do something cool. And then obviously we've got standard mechanology as well, which is all about machines and structures and all that sort of thing. So that's more on the lines of Nitro Mechanoid and these gadgets and stuff that Dash already likes to do. So yeah, I think obviously at the moment we do have the mechanologist being the hero that cares about the branch of study being mechanology. But in this speculative set in METRIX, you could have mechanologist biomancer, mechanologist alchemist, etc. You could do the dual class thing. You could have them have access to mechanologist cards and the other cards, or you could just do something completely different and then introduce biomancers and alchemists. But I don't think alchemist is obviously in the lore book, but biomancer is not. So I imagine that if they were to use these branches of study, they would use the mechanologist class and then just have, like, similar to Aria, where you had essence of ice and earth, or essence of lightning and earth, or whatever. You could have branch of biomancy or branch of alchemy, etc. So you can include alchemy cards in your deck or something similar to that, because then you could still really support the mechanologist class, but also have these essence of blah blah blah, essence of blah blah blah, and then you could even sort of even take it a step further with regards to design space and have something that you choose at the start of the game or the start of the limited or sealed pool or whatever. You could then say, right, I'm going to be studying biomancy because I've got a good biomancy pool, or I'm going to be studying alchemy with my mechanologist because I've got a good alchemy pool. So again, that could really I think Magic's done something like that in the past, where you choose, like, I think it was like Strixhaven, where you choose like a school, basically Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, but you essentially choose a school that then you get your card pool around. With this, you could obviously open up your sealed packs and do your drafts and what have you, but then you could choose what branches of study you would access as a result of the card pool that you've been given, or the sealed pool that you've been given. I think that could be quite cool, you know, having this sort of ability to customize your deck based on the cards that you have, and, you know, sorry, not customize your deck, but customize your class and your talent and abilities based on the cards that you've been given in the draft, or you've drafted, or you've been given in the sealed pool, etc. I think could be quite cool, because it could give you that sort of customization option in the sealed and limited environment, which I think would be quite good. But then outside of that, there could be heroes that already have this sort of tacked on, or there could be even something introduced that allows you to choose a branch of study if you're a mechanologist, even in constructed or blitz or something. That's where it gets difficult. Because you might need to introduce new heroes for the constructed part, but in limited and sealed, you could then choose your branch of study. So yeah, could be an interesting thought. And again, these types of videos are all about thought-provoking discussions, putting ideas and stuff out there into the aether. Maybe even for LSS and the design team to maybe just get ideas flowing. And that's what I like to do. I like to throw ideas and thought-provoking things out there. But what do you think? there's a load of stuff on the lore. You can go and check it out. There's loads of other ideas on there, like Tennyson ore, as you can see on the screen here. But yeah, what do you think? Leave a comment in the section below. Do you think it could be a good idea? Do you think they should have new heroes that specialise in biomancy, alchemy, or mechanology, or do you think they should have like I said just a moment ago, about choosing one of those branches of study in constructed and or in sealed as well? Again, I think it could be a cool sealed limited thing. Constructed might get a little bit messy with regards to you choosing what cards you can put in your deck. But yeah, I mean, another idea I've just thought of is that if you're playing a mechanologist, you could then, as part of your deck construction, you could then choose a branch of study, and then at the start of the game, you reveal your branch of study, or even during sideboard or hero reveal, you reveal your branch of study, and therefore that could allow your opponent to sideboard against what they think might be coming and all this. So also puts a game in the game before the game even starts. So yeah, in sort of constructed, you could do that. You have to include maybe a branch of study as one of in your deck, and then you reveal that before the game starts as part of the sort of whole setup of the game, and then that can really sort of kick off the sideboarding against that study potentially. Or maybe it's hidden information. Maybe you could, again, more design space. You could reveal this when you start the game, and then your opponent's like, oh no, okay, they're playing an alchemy hero, and I've teched against a biomancy or whatever, or I've teched against a standard boost. That could be another game within a game, which could be cool for design space. But obviously, in limited and sealed, you just pick it and reveal it straight away, or it's similar to constructed, where you reveal it at the start of the game. But yeah, loads of ideas, loads of things going on. But I was just reading through this new lore sort of drop down and revisiting all of the lore pieces that are sort of nested in this drop down now. And I was just going through and I thought, oh, okay, let's read up a little bit about METRIX. And this idea came to me about this branches of study that I've just revisited. But what do you think? Leave a comment section below. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and check out the website now, goagaingaming.com. Should be in the link in the description box below. If it's not, then obviously just type in goagaingaming.com. And thanks again to all my patrons who make this possible. Thank you very much to you all, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you very much, and make sure you go check out the Patreon as well if you want to help support the channel directly. But yeah, loads of cool things coming up. Thanks very much for your time, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.